What's up? Welcome back to the Metalhead Car Show. When you think of an American car, you think the Ford Mustang, the Dodge Charger, the Chevy Camaro, the Corvette, whatever. As someone who lives in North America, you think cars you see pretty much every single day. But a lot of these companies like Ford, Dodge, and Chevy all have brands outside of North America. And they all have cars that are exclusive to countries that, well, aren't America. So today I want to go over 5 American cars that aren't sold in America. Let's get right into it. Starting off with the Ford Falcon. Now a lot of you may know the Falcon and a lot of you may be saying, no, that was sold in North America. Hell, I even own one. Yes, you very well may. But the Ford Falcon was sold in North America from 1960 to 1970. 1970 was actually the last year that the Ford Falcon was sold in North America until it became an Australia exclusive. Despite it died here, the Ford Falcon continued from 1971 to 2016. Having a handful of different variations from wagons to coupes to sedans, this thing was a Australian staple. There was even a ute version. Now there were standard versions that anyone could go in and drive, but there was also like supercharged 5-liter versions making north of 500 horsepower in these cars, and then being generally really fast sedans. Of every car, this is like the number 1 car on the list. I think it's a damn shame we never got. And every now and then I poke into how to import one of these to North America, because I think they're generally so cool. Next up, the Chrysler 300C.
What?
Sorry, 300C Estate. In almost every single continent except North America, you could actually get a Chrysler 300C wagon. If you're saying, man, that is a Dodge Magnum with a Chrysler front end. Yeah, it is. But still, damn cool. Another change to the non-North American spec car is you can actually also get a diesel engine with it, along with the standard 6-cylinder and the Hemi V8. As someone who loves fast wagons, I would have loved to see this be sold here. Because yeah, I know it's pretty much the exact same thing as the Dodge Magnum, but finding good Dodge Magnums is getting to be really difficult, and having one more option would be awesome. And as a wagon, I think the 300 actually looks really good. Next up, the Ford Focus Convertible. The Ford Focus Convertible was made on the 2nd generation platform and was made for the European and Australian market. Ford Focus Convertible was only made between 2007 and 2010, and it was actually made with a full hardtop metal folding roof, which that itself is generally pretty cool because the Mustang doesn't even get that. I'm a big Focus fan. I got to see one of these in London back in 2018. I got a photo of it, and the owner did not look happy that I was getting a photo of him in his car. If this video ever gets back to the owner of this, I apologize. I didn't see you in the car. Had I known you were there, I probably would have taken the photo. Not the intent. Now you get deep down, it's probably going to be a lot similar to the Volvo S40 convertible, but it would have been neat to have this here because there isn't really much of a market here. Yes, you have the Volvo, there's the Volkswagen Cabriolet, and I think that's probably it. Because we never got anything like this from like Chevy, Dodge, or Hyundai here. And despite, yeah, Honda did make the Del Sol, that was forever ago. In the time that this existed, there was nothing from Honda that would have been similar. And no, the S2000 doesn't count. If you really want to scare yourself, get one of these and put the 2nd gen Focus RS engine in it. I'm sure it would be a disaster, and I love it. Next up, the Chrysler Charger. So yes, again, we did get the Charger. But one thing a lot of people don't really know is Dodge was actually using the Charger name on a lot of the A-body cars outside of North America. Some of the examples being the Chrysler Charger, which we're talking about, which was an Australian spec car, and there was actually a Brazilian version of this on the Dodge Dart platform using the Charger name. I want to look at the Chrysler Charger because A, I think this thing got a bit more popularity since the Forza game started using it, and B, I think these things are generally really unique. Because that's what I'm pretty sure the Brazilian car was using a small block Dodge engine, likely a 340. This car was actually using a Slant 6. Yeah, I know, the Slant 6 was an amazing engine. Good for torque, but not an amazing engine. But what made this thing amazing is that it had 3 two-barrel carburetors on it, a full actual exhaust manifold on it. It was a actual Hemi, and it made 300 horsepower and a boatload of torque. This thing was geared for acceleration, and it was generally really fast. It could do quarter miles in the 13s, which 13s come mid-70s from American car was progressively getting more and more difficult. I really like these things, but I don't have the same sort of connection to them as I do with some of the other cars. They're also getting very expensive, so they're very cool, but they're not quite for me. Not that that's what the video is about. I think. Last one on the list, the Chevy Utility. So the Chevy Utility was a small pickup truck made for the Chevy South African market. See, they had an optional 1.4 or 1.8 4-cylinder. It sounds like it was probably on the Chevy Sonic platform. And frankly, I love this car. I wish Chevy brought this to North America, which sounds ridiculous given this thing does a 0 to 60 of like 12.5 seconds. But we're only now really getting back into the small truck market with the Santa Cruz and the Ford Maverick. So I think if Chevy brought back a small, very affordable pickup truck, we both would have got the whole program going again way earlier, but by now we'd have so many more options. And imagine, like, yeah, it's super slow and whatnot, but if they made this thing for like $12,000, $13,000 in North America, it would have sold so well. Not everyone wants a F-150 or Ram or Silverado. Nobody wants a Cybertruck, but if they had a tiny pickup truck, this thing would have done so well. Which, that's not really the point of this video. I think this thing is super cool, and I love that Chevy was actually making tiny pickup trucks for different markets. I want to know, what do you think? Is there any cars you would add to the list, and what is your favorite one off the list? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed what you've seen. I post on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and I'll see you later.